positional stuff and those type of things, but you look pretty comfortable on her. So just any Janna game. So I noticed that. Oh well, let's finish this first. So I like that you only have very few played. I really like that because you only have 6 champions played.
Yeah.
What is this Kale? Is this Kale mid or is this Kale top? What?
Kale top.
Kale top. Okay. So Kale top. Why Kale top? So do you queue support top then?
Yeah.
Why?
Towards the beginning of the season, I just felt like bot lane was just a real bad lane to be in.
Mm-hmm.
And so I tried to start learning another lane. And top seemed like a nice little island. So that's where I tried to go.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like Kale's playstyle. I really like playing Kale, and she's actually got my highest mastery out of everyone.
My only thing with Kale is top is a totally different lane. So
Yeah.
Top. So remember, this is a 2v2 lane, sometimes a 3v3 lane on bottom. I would vote or kind of suggest trying to go into the mid lane because mid and support share a lot more commonalities with being mages. Both can be mages. Both are fairly squishy, especially with your comfortability with playing Sona AP. This stuff, you're pretty much playing a mid laner at this point. That could be Kale mid. Kale mid's really good because mid lane gets more farm, so that way you get a little bit more items and stuff, and you can start doing a lot more with that.
Okay, I just like top lane Kale just because most mages outrange me in the mid lane, and then I also like to split push, and I tend to do that more. I tend to get that more in top lane.
Yeah, so it is just a suggestion, but it looks like you can get your support role for most of the time. Is this a Lux support, I'm assuming?
Yeah, that was... that's who my ADC wanted, and I was willing to give it a try. And then the Jinx, I got autofilled there.
Okay. Yeah, we don't play Jinx anymore. Okay. Yeah, so the split push, I will say the only cautionary thing with top lane is that it's so micro, and supports down bot lane are usually very macro heavy. So as you climb up the ladder, you might get stuck in a certain area because you start fighting top laners that actually understand how to split push or understand Kale as a champion. I understand the mid lane part. I just want to give you that fair warning there.
Okay. So this file is too big for me to send through Discord. Is there another way I can send it to you?
I don't know. I'm so used to the replay.gg with these coaching sessions.
Okay. Could I email it to you?
You could try emailing it to this account. All right. Yeah, you should. It might take a little bit of time. But yeah, Soraka and Janna play very similar too. So I kind of can see why you struggle with both. And they get punished really hard for their positional errors, where Sona can get away with it because she provides so much damage. Now let's see your build paths on some of these champs. It's all good. Okay. Well, your room page is a little weird, but alright. Why is that not? Okay. And you can go ahead and tell me if that sends or not.
Yeah, it's almost done uploading to Gmail.
Okay.
All right, I just sent it to you. There's no no subject.
All right. So overall, I think keep playing your Sona, but we'll work on Janna and Soraka. Because I think it is important for you to understand those champions, because they're really some of the fundamental champions. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
At least in the support lane. And I noticed you play mages. You don't have any tanks, which is fine. Is that... Oh, no, I just want to... Is that going to work? Oh, I think it is. Alright. But really, you don't have anything alarming on op.gg. Just kind of tells the story you're telling me. So we're going to get into this gameplay thing. How long have you been playing?
About 5 months.
About 5 months, okay. And why did you start playing?
My girlfriend used to play, and then when I bought her a laptop so she could go back to school, she started playing League again, and since she didn't really like a lot of the PlayStation games that we play, because usually we just play one-player games and we just trade off.
Mm-hmm.
And so I started playing League, or she started playing League, and then I started playing League to play with her, and then she started playing with her work friends, so I started playing with my own friends, and then I just thought maybe giving ranked a try, I guess, just seeing how it would go.
Before anything, have you seen these things? Any Janna mains? Reddits?
Yeah.
Okay. I try to give my students the resources because any resources I know about. I find that it's a nice support group for if you want to choose that champion and play well, and they kind of talk about it and ask very different questions. Of course, you'll get some montages and stuff, but I think that's a very valuable tool. So, let's get in this game. So you are Janna, Ezreal, Draven, Morgana. How do you think this matchup's going to go bot lane?
I know I don't generally pair very well with Ezreal.
Okay.
I think he locked in after I did, and he didn't hover a champion.
Mm-hmm.
Usually Dravens kind of scare me just because they do like so much ridiculous damage, but I personally love playing with the Draven.
Mm-hmm.
And then the thing with Morgana's Black Shield, she can obviously stop my Whirlwind for a peel, or she can also stop my slow.
Mm-hmm. But you can stop her a lot too. So Janna's a really nice counter into Morg because they kind of go back and forth. Do you know why I say that?
Why is that?
Because Janna's ult kind of counteracts Morgana's ult. If you
Oh yeah, I can interrupt her ult.
Yep, and you can push her out, and no one takes the tether damage, the second set of tether damage. All right, so let's go ahead. You started Ancient Coin Fairy Charm. Why? You have no potions.
I started Ancient Coin because I was kind of scared to go in for a lot of poke with Draven. Again, because of how much damage he does. And then I go Fairy Charm for the mana regen.
Okay. What happens when Draven pokes you twice? Now you're... I mean, we'll see, but usually in these early lanes you want to have something to sustain with. So usually your refillable potion. Yep, so let's go ahead and get through this. Let's see how you guys enter the lane.
Oh, I think the game's on pause.
Yeah, it was on pause. But alright, so you give a nice leash. You're going to shield him another time. Yep, nice. Oh. Whoa, that's a big mistake.
What happened?
So here, I'm going to let you catch up.
Oh yeah, I took his blue by accident.
Why is that a huge mistake?
It sets the jungler behind
Yeah.
and takes his XP.
Yeah, you could have just left him with the shield and start walking because one, you put this guy behind, but also you put Ezreal behind this way too. Because, let's move down now. Because when Ezreal walks down this way, Draven can just hit him, move into him. Because look at how the creeps have moved.
Okay.
So because of Ezreal's choice, he has no defense, so he's going to be burning a potion probably, or a flash. Because this is like 3 or 4 shots from Draven. Of course, it's bronze and they might not capitalize it, but these are the little things that matter in League of Legends, is how do you get to lane and things like that. So this is a huge mistake for Graves and you because of that blue buff. So you almost helped him too much.
Okay.
Alright. So see how Ezreal's missed 3 minions though? That means Draven's going to hit level 2 first, especially because he's gotten solo XP there. So that means you guys are in a world of hurt in the next few minutes. Ezreal, yep, he's going to be really, really behind here. Alright. I think you were typing back there.
Yeah, I think I was saying sorry.
Okay.
Oh, and I went back to shield him for the Gromp.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, you were really, really happy with jungle. So here, you know Morgana has binding, because you should have saw that from Ezreal. Do you play lock screen or unlocked?
Semi-locked.
Semi-locked, okay. So you would be able to see other people stuff, because you need to know what Morgana started, because if she starts Q like this, that means Draven can probably kill you at level 1 or 2. So he gets poked down. I'm slowing it down. Ezreal doesn't have items either. What? Alright. Now, this is where you know by how the character model is looking. So you know she's clicking up somewhere here because it's just where the character model is. And if Morgana keeps running up to you, you know she's going to throw a Q, right? Because of the travel time and stuff. So it's a little weird. You have a decent spot here, but she's going to just land a skill shot on you that she shouldn't ever be able to. Like, and if you just went over a little bit more, because of when the skill shot gets shot out, you can just move in. She might auto you, but it's better than getting binded because you will automatically get autoed there.
Okay.
The Ezreal is completely, I understand now, but because he's just at an innate advantage, less AD, less health than Draven. But I mean, so your job as a support is what?
Peeling for my ADC and setting him up for kills.
I would say in the lane, yeah. What about in team fights and stuff? Are you only meant to peel for your ADC?
Peel for whoever's getting jumped on. Yeah. My backline usually.
Or whoever, I would say, kind of your.
I'll usually shield my tank before they jump in, and then I'll generally try and peel for the backline if I can.
Yeah, and really just make sure that whoever's fed. So if we know this Ezreal's a gumball because he didn't buy items, I mean, we know items kind of help us win games because it gives us more of what we want. If he's deciding to not buy items and just is atrocious at CS, we can kind of assume mid to late game we really don't want to be putting all of our money on him, right?
Yeah.
So this is the second skill shot you get hit by, and it might be useful to, I don't know if you played Morgana, but usually playing the champion that you struggle into might be very beneficial in the future. But Draven doesn't elect to auto you, and you'd be a lot lower. This is where those health potions would be a lot nicer for you because of how much poke you guys can receive. Alright, let's speed things up. Alright. So, this is where it's the third time, and now you're going to get punished for it because you waste your flash just because you got hit again with a binding. So really dodging skill shots, and some of that looks like your movements are too big. Good. Okay, Ezreal's trading decently, but so he hit 3. Okay, this is where if you had potions it would be really helpful because you have no problem with mana, and you can't spam your shield enough to run for a while. I don't know what this tornado's doing.
I think I might have had a panic tornado.
Yeah. Well, you prepped it and it just wasn't going to hit anything. If you were to do something like that, you'd want to actually aim the minion wave to help Ezreal push. But like doing the 80 damage the tornado does nothing to this Draven because he'll be able to sustain it back. So you're investing your resources and not getting anything out of it. When you could be getting the minions, because the minions will give you the level advantage, or kind of catch up to Draven. But you are in a pretty good spot here because you know the jungler can't gank you, or you should know. That was close. Okay. What happens here? Do you kill? Oh, Zerath kills someone. All right. How are we doing on CS? All right, Ezreal's less of a monkey. He's actually CSing better. All right, dodge the skill shot. Good. One thing to note here. So he just missed that minion right there. That minion right there. You could have changed that by autoing it once. So we call this prepping the back wave for the AD carry. So if this wave, if your blue side wave or if your wave wasn't here, you would want to make sure you prepped those minions. Do you and prepping just refers to auto attacking it once, because it takes an auto turret shot auto to kill the caster minions, and that's just.
I've just played with a lot of ADCs who don't even want me to do anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I generally just don't.
Okay.
So I mean, like I understand prepping them. It's just like I said, I've had some ADCs where I would do that for them and they don't like it. So I just don't do it.
Okay, well, so it's their problem. It's not yours, because your problem is to get this lunatic as big as possible so you guys can win the game. What I do is just go into the game, mute all, because if this guy wants to spend flaming because he missed this minion because he couldn't figure out how to prep it, because some carries you can prep. Can kind of self-prep if they have enough auto attack speed, but usually especially these early levels, usually 1 through 6 is where the major prepping happens. Okay. And this is essentially you're carrying by doing these minor things that help him without him realizing it. So don't make a big deal about it, but just kind of if you knew that this turret shot was going over there, you would prep that minion for him, and then it's a lot easier. Even if because they're actually in the wrong, because they're saying, I don't want you to do this because I'm going to miss the CS anyways. That's silly. Because it's just, now he just lost 20 gold because he's being stubborn. And supports, we try to say, well, I'm going to try to carry you even if you don't like it.
Okay.
So like there, you misprepped it, and just auto it. Don't need to do anything fancy. All right. So he got that. You both. I like that you backed with your AD carry. Let's see what you get. He sits on a tier. There we go. Nice. Good. I'm gonna speed it up a little bit. Alright. Now we're back in lane with our new stuff. We have item advantage over them now. Because they chose not to back, so this is actually where you guys want to fight, because you have actual gold liquefied, and they don't. That was a decent tornado. Okay, he got it. Another minor thing to do as a support, especially with someone with a shield or heal, is because you want the wave somewhere around here, and if the minion if the minions weren't here, you'd want to stand in front of it and just put a shield on yourself and just stand there and press your S key, meaning you won't attack it. because then the minions will, and then you, when the minion collides, you back up a little bit, and then they stay in this range.
Okay.
This is what, because this is really good for Ezreal because he's safe from jungle ganks. The turret range is like something like this. Let's use a red. Something like that, approximately. So you want them just outside your turret range because that gives Ezreal the safest lane possible. And if we look, that gives us the whole lane to chase him down if we wanted to fight.
Okay.
And that's just a little minor trick that you may or may not know.
I think I've read about that before. I don't think I've ever practiced it though.
Okay. Again, you guys want it. You could walk up and auto him. So something that laners and especially supports need to realize is if this guy's autoing a minion, you can step and auto him and then put a shield on and then you just back off. Because your autos do a lot still. Even Janna autos that are like 52 damage per auto or something, they do a lot after a few times. And it cuts down the healing of his Doran's blade, and that makes his life go just down a little bit. So if let's say you do that like 2 or 3 times, he's down here, right? Then that makes Ezreal maybe say, hey, maybe I can get a kill here, let's go in hard. So it's a little trick, and we can work on that if we have time. But it's a little trick to prep. You're essentially prepping Draven for Ezreal to all in.
Okay.
And support's a weird role because it's all this like kind of mysterious carrying stuff. See? Nice. That exhaust. The exhaust was a little early. I think you were just using it for a slow. When I think you had your slow up, I believe. Let's go back. Alright, let's look at... So, because if they're not attacking you, there's no reason to do the exhaust, because there's that 40% damage reduction. So, you go in, okay, so that's where I would have just taken W for that. And then do you... Okay, do you shield him? Shield one of them. No, why are you shielding yourself now? Alright, and I don't know what you guys are doing. Alright. So that was good. You could have just played that a little better without using exhaust.
I think I was trying to shield Graves, but misclicked, I think.
Okay. Yeah, I think... So, when we use exhaust, it's the summoner trade. You got his flash and heal, so it's worth it in this case, but you don't always want to lead with exhaust. You usually want to save it, especially for a high damage someone like Draven, because it cuts his damage roughly in half. Now Draven has a big back, so you guys don't really want to fight him. I think Morgana back too, yeah. Alright. But you're giving this Ezreal a lot of leeway in the lane. You're doing pretty good. He's almost out of mana, so you need to start, and you're almost out of mana, so you guys need to start thinking about when to back. We call that back timings. and you want an effective back timer. Alright, Ezreal's trading. I wouldn't have used Tornado there. You're trying to like roll dice with your Tornado. Because he had Black Shield on it, and there's no reason to throw a Tornado when he has Black Shield, even if it was going to hit. And then you would have had more mana for your shield. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just these little minor things. Let's see what happens. Oh, okay, so Ezreal does die in the future. In actually like a minute. And probably because you're running out of mana. Let's speed it up. That was really crummy by him. Alright, you got... That was a... So Ezreal's late. And this is where if you did have exhaust, you just didn't actually realize. Okay, you had mana for E. So I think you could have saved him there. Either by running towards Draven and exhausting him, because it would cut down the damage from his ult and autos, or shielding Ezreal.
Okay.
So that was just you kind of not maybe reacting to the situation. Now, you need a back because you don't do anything down here by yourself. Because where do you don't do... Sure, you get the shield on the turret, but you don't do anything. They can just force you off it like they are. So you're just delaying your own back. You could have backed. You could have already bought your items already. Alright, let's speed it up. What did you get? Alright. I don't mind the Aya Watchers early. You held ult and stuff. Good. Okay. Good. You guys are a little split, but careful. Here you can Janna ult. Nope. You Janna ulted a little late. The second you saw Xin Zhao on Ezreal, you should have ulted. Because Xin Zhao has no way to get to him without his E. So if he already E's on Ezreal, you Janna ult, then Ezreal can kite around.
Okay.
So that was just I think, being a little slow to react, which is fine. You're giving him too much respect, but that's alright. Again, you don't do anything by yourself. So after Graves left you could have backed. Because you got like one minion. Alright. Good. You're almost at a turret too. So this is where, let me ask, should you stand under this turret?
I think you're a couple seconds ahead of me.
Okay.
Probably not.
Why?
Because in like one or two hits it'd be gone, and then they could just go all out on me or Ezreal.
Yep. So just as long as you're aware of, like, this is pretty much dead. It's like 2 autos away from being dead. So if they choose to fight, you guys are running all the way back here. Don't just dance, because I see too many people dance around this low HP turret. Yeah, don't hit the melee minions. Only prep the casters. There, that was a really good exhaust. Could have been a little safer with a shield onto Ezreal, but it's alright. So you're gonna push it out. You back when... Why are you not backing with Ezreal? You didn't need to stay there. You weren't in risk of anything, really. So you just wait. You wasted like 10 seconds or so, which doesn't sound a lot, but you could have already been on your way mid. Or already way back. So let me ask you, have you checked the rest of the map? Do you check the rest of the map when you play?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that Ezreal is a goofball. So your early game laning wasn't bad. There were little things you could do. Alright, nice. You burnt his flash by just showing up. Could you have helped more? Why are you over there?
In the jungle?
No, you were at the turret. Let's see. So you were clearing minion waves. Yeah, you could have came to Graves' rescue. Or at least ulted them. You could have flash ulted and saved him. Because Grave does a lot of damage, and then you have Xerath back up. And if you just knocked him up, they would get multiple Xerath. And you just slow him down. Yeah, I think... because do you see what you did there? You just stood here when action was around here. And you couldn't shield, so you needed to move up into the jungle. Even though Morgana was there, she wasn't going to kill you because she already threw her binding out towards Graves. Who'd go in and make clutch plays there.
Okay.
And that's where Janna really excels, is... come on. Oh. Come on. Yeah, when Janna excels at kind of making these clutch plays. Because even if you shield him and all he did was ult there, you'd give him like an extra 30 AD, which could have helped kill Draven as well. Alright. And red team does a lot. Okay, whoa, alright. Let's see what happened there. Alright, so this is where you die soon, so... Whoa, 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 whoa. I think you and Ezreal had very different ideas. And you didn't... Because you'll never win this, so that was just a flat-out mistake, I think, of going a little too aggressive. Yes, you have Ezreal and Graves there, but... almost. You knocked her into a wall, so she... When you're caught out like this... So if you ever get caught out, you never want to burn a flash when you know you're dead. And you should know that you're dead here, because you have two people there as well as a Xin Zhao above you. So in all like 9 out of 10 times you should die here, unless they just goof up. And Draven already had his ult running, so it would have been really clutch if you survived there. But so that was just a mistake on a positional mistake on your part. All right, let's see where you are. All right, which number are you? Oh, are you? No. Alright, you're T, alright. So they make some plays there. You're still bottom. So you're almost 20 minutes in with a pretty big kill lead. I would try to ping in mid lane or something else, because you guys aren't grouping and you could be grouping. So supports really are kind of the leaders indirectly of the team. And you could just ping this and say, hey, let's go here, I want this turret, I want this turret, I want to finish this turret, or something along those lines.
Okay.
Just that kind of be proactive rather than reactive, and you will win a lot more games. Like you and Xerath down here don't really get anything even if you kill him. So you do kill him, but let's see if you actually get any objectives, because remember, objectives are kind of our king. Because you do eventually, do you lose this game or do you win this game?
I think we won this game.
Yeah, okay. Because it sure looks like you should win. Alright, we're going to keep following you around. I like your position as Janna. You kind of stay behind people, which is good. Alright. Is the stream too laggy when I'm doing this? Or is it... Or can you kind of
No,
see
it's fine.
Alright. So this is a huge kind of mistake that you guys, not just you, but a lot of people make. So when you're sieging like this, let's use a different color like this. So when you're up, red team's going into this, and you guys are just kind of like slamming your heads into this. You see the little mini map? Why not just rotate down and take the bottom? So that kind of make a switcheroo. That would be something that you could start by saying assist me, or on my way, on my way. You could say on my way, on my way, on my way. And even if no one follows, even if you show up there, that will make the rest of the team on their team kind of worried, because you'll contest this. Because why this bottom turrets, why these bottom turrets are really important is because it frees up Baron. So if this turret's gone, no turret, then it's really easy for Baron, because now they're worried that you guys are just going to come in bottom.
Okay.
Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah.
All right. And it's just these little proactive plays. That will set you apart from winning games versus losing games. Alright, nice. Nice. So you make a pick onto Morgana. Kled's pushing top, and you're like, Kled's doing Kled things. You guys, you could also, right now, be pinging Dragon. Because you can't siege up mid right now, okay, you should be able to siege up something now, because now they have 2 members dead. This is where you could have ulted that Xin off of Ezreal again. Even if you burn your ult, it's a pretty short cooldown compared to heal, because heal's almost 4 minutes, and that means you could have had about 3 or so Janna shields. You do eventually take Dragon, maybe? Maybe? So this is where... Are you gonna ask for it? No? Alright. So right now you're not doing anything gold efficient wise, like you're just kind of standing around. Your team is doing that too, but you want to kind of help your team make the right calls.
Okay. And I think a lot of the times I don't know what the right call to make is.
So that was a really nice tornado. Right here, you guys should have taken Dragon already. You, Ezreal, and Graves sat by Dragon for like 30 seconds. And that would have been easy, because then it just removes it from the map, and it just kind of goes to make the enemy team less likely to win. You whiffed your tornado, but doesn't matter. I need to ask, do you ping when they use, so like when Annie used Ignite, do you ping that?
No.
Okay.
I generally don't. No.
Okay. So you...
sometimes I'll write down when someone's done an ult or something.
Okay.
But
do you know how to ping summoner spells?
No.
Okay, so you go into, you press tab in your game, and for me I believe it's shift click, so I just go tab, shift click, Ignite, and I have my timestamps on, so I know Annie ignited at 250 or 2250, so add 4 minutes, so it should be 2650 that it comes up. So you just ping it so that they know that she used it, and because when she comes up, they might not know that they used it. Because if I'm Kled and I wasn't paying attention down here, it just gives your team a little bit more information. That's where if you were F1, F2, F3 everywhere, you'll see summoners being blown all over the place, and you can be like, alright, Nasus flashed, alright, Xin Zhao flashed, Draven healed. And that just gives you guys an edge, because now you know more than your enemy. Or essentially, you know more than what they know.
Okay.
So, that's a big difference. So I think you lose mid. Yep. You're running away. Mobility boots, lock it, alright. So right now, if you guys kill those guys, you could easily take a Baron. Do you take Baron?
I can't remember.
No, You have this wonderful thing called Baron, and they aren't up for 10 seconds, and their jungler's not up for almost 30. And you guys decide to take Wind Dragon that should have already been gone like 2 minutes ago. So this is just if you just pinged Baron. So when you kill 3 or 4 members of their team, especially when their jungler's dead, Baron becomes a very viable option. Because you still have ult, you have Janna shields, you could have them all tank Baron, and you could keep them up. I think you even have Redemption still up. And so this is where we just need to practice those decisions for you to make those calls. We do get mid turret, which is good. I think you're okay. You're gonna just bush check him. All right. The cheese is strong with this team, which is fine. Okay. What? Alright. Now, so try to just ping, like, danger and just ping the turret. Because you guys are chasing Draven and Morgana, which when it doesn't make sense. You need to be near Kled to shield him. Yeah, you could have saved Kled a little bit of HP there. Go to mid lane and ping it. Take it down. Where are you going? Why aren't you with your team? So this is kind of a bad mistake to make. You don't do anything by yourself in a lane. So you should be with your team, for better or worse. Because now you have no way to get up to them. Let's see if you do. No. So you just went kind of, you went kind of by yourself, which just doesn't make sense because you get a little bit of gold, but you don't actually help the team. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Alright. Do you have any questions on what we've covered so far? I know I'm kind of going through a lot.
No, it's all good.
Alright.
As far as, yeah, I can't think of anything off the bat, I guess.
Alright. So you're going there with Ezreal. So this is kind of the position you want. Is pretty much just always sit on them. That was a good Janish ult. I'm glad you used the ult because you've been holding on to it for a while. Good. At this point, it's 45 seconds for him to respawn. So you guys can force something. Like on this Draven. So you want to kind of start trying to lead your group here. Perfect. Perfect. Now, again, could be an easy Baron. Because they're losing two of their pretty strong members. So this is where we have a problem, though, is Kled and Graves and Xerath aren't doing anything. We got the trifecta lazy people, and they all should be focusing something. Or Kled could go up here, Graves could be doing here. So in low elo, you guys don't focus the objectives at all, and that's where you need to start encouraging your team by like pinging the objective or pinging next to it.
Okay.
If you're doing really bad or something, so that start kind of having the voice of the team, even if it's a wrong call. Even if you're like, I really want Baron, and you guys die, and only one of you guys get Baron, that's still the right call. You guys might have made a mechanical misplay because those happen a lot. You guys might not have gone all in at the same time. So you guys should really be running the show. And it is part of your team's fault for not closing out this game. You guys should have open inhib already. Okay, I'm glad you're dodging those. Alright, that was a good tornado, and Ezreal actually followed up on. Again, if we take a note on where Graves and Kled are, they're off in Wonderland over here, doing nothing. And that might be where you just ping assist, 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 or something like that. Don't, because like if you're, yes, they might think you're flaming them or getting mad, but you're just trying to end the game. Here, this could, you're a little caught out, but if we had everyone, it'd be a lot easier. Let's see what you do to get out. Alright, you flash. You have ult though. You can ult. Nope. You can also use redemption when you're dead. There we go. Good, perfect. It's a little late, but you lost the fight. Oh well, no, not anymore. Graves? Alright. Let's see what else. Alright. So, I would say two things to maybe write down to practice is position where you are, because you sometimes just step up randomly. In that case, you lost a team fight because you just stood a little too far, and then you backed. Your pathing was a little weird because you pathed up like this when you could go around here because you have a lot more dodge space here.
Okay.
So position, and then just pinging and kind of advocating some, like try to get them to do something. All right. The sweeper. I like the sweeper. Don't. Why are you sitting in a bush? I think you're typing a book or something. Good. Again, this is where you guys could end the game. Right now, you guys could end, at least take the inhib. Okay. You gotta start using Janna ult more too. You hold Janna ult too often. So you could have just Janna ulted down here, you could have Janna ult down here. Here you could be on top of Ezreal and Janna ult. Like, yeah, there we go. Now you finally use it. But it's a little too late. Little too late. You still get practically an ace on them because this Draven's garbage, and you get that. Good. They recognize they could take the turret. That's really good. Where are you coming down? Yeah, you didn't need to shield him. They think you guys are at Baron. Ezreal looked like he DC'd. Why are you on this side? Alright, are you going to push the lane? I hope so. Good. Good? Good. This is what I mean by just sitting with whoever's fed. You have two fed carries with you, Graves and Xerath, and you want to be with them.
Okay.
Yep. Ezreal is alright, a little less fed. You're not hitting the ward you're sweeping, and I don't know why. And that doesn't make sense to not sweep that at all. Good, you use your Janna ult. Looks like you're getting more comfortable there. So if you are going to use your sweeper, you might want to... Okay, the exhaust is alright. Doesn't show me cooldowns, but... Yep, and it should be game by now. should be game by now. So the last few minutes, you're gonna just take the last turret, and I'm assuming you're gonna just run over them at this point. Shield Ezreal. There we go. Yeah, you're a little late on that shield, but because Janna's shield's a little interesting because you have to use it for damage and damage taken. Minor note: give it to Ezreal because he has a lot more attack speed than you, and with more attack speed, more attacks. And if you put a shield on him, he's going to do a lot more than you are.
Yeah, I think some of those are just misclicking because I think he was standing beside me.
Okay.
And I probably just fucked it up.
That's fine.
Because generally when we're hitting a turret because the enemy laners are gone, I'll almost always shield the ADC because they'll do a lot more damage than me anyways.
Mm-hmm. There are times where you want to shield yourself too. But how do you guys not just... Okay, they have an open nexus. And now, there we go. Now you guys all flash. There we go. And now you can end the game. Good. But as you can tell, there were, even on this very pretty convincing win, it was 50-21, you still had plenty of mistakes.
Yeah.
And that's where I wanted to go ahead and do kind of a training session with you.
Okay.
And it's going to kind of model how bad AD carries can be sometimes. So, which AD carry do you want? You want Lucian? You want MF? What? Caitlyn? Who do you like laning with?
I like laning with a Draven.
I don't know if we have Draven bot.
It doesn't matter. Vayne's fine. Or
Let's see if we have Vayne. Nope, no Vayne bot.
Misfortune's fine.
Alright, I know we have Misfortune bot. Alright, and I will have Ezreal. Do you want to play... So I would like you to play Janna.
Okay.
And who would you like me to play, though? Do you want me to play a mirror matchup with Janna and show you how I would play Janna? Would you want me to show you how I would play Morgana?
Let's do a mirror match.
Alright.
Can we do the same bots?
Yeah.
Can we both have the same bot?
I think so. Yes. Alright. And we'll both give them beginner, because you are in bronze and stuff, so it's probably where your 80 carries are going to be close to. And I want to just show you the different things I would do in a lane. And you get to cheat and see what I do if you're watching the stream still. We'll just keep that running, because I think there's value in seeing what I do as well. Alright, so, and this is just to model, like, that you could get almost like someone who doesn't do anything like a bot. And what I'm trying to do with this exercise for you is to show you that you have the power in the lane. Supports, so a lot of people think AD carries make all the decisions in the bot lane, but the support really actually does the 2v2 stuff. And that's where those minor details we were talking about on the VOD really come into play.
Okay.
See, they both forgot their Keystone Mastery. Does that happen to you a lot? Happens to me a lot.
Generally, no. They forget their keystone?
Yeah, there's a lot of... Probably like once every 8 games or so. Why am I not loading though? Let's try try again. The custom games are kind of too hard for me to load in. Holy moly. Alright. I don't know why it's so hard to log in.
So should I just go what I normally go, or?
Yeah, so you're going to go normal build, whatever you think. So I would still make that change of, instead of doing Fairy Charm, try Potions in this case. Because you might find yourself in a weird spot. Am I loading finally? Holy. Alright. Alright. I'm finally. Are you already in game?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, that's awkward. I'm gonna close this. Alright. So, one thing to note, I don't know what you went, but 3 potions versus refillable. Refillable potions is actually really nice because supports will back often. And supports usually run mana and health regen in their runes or in their masteries. So we both have crummy bot players.
As you wish.
So
Upon the wing.
see how much more aggressive and how I'm encouraging my bot to attack you?
Okay.
I'm gonna hit your bot. Alright, my bot's bad.
Ah, fuck.
And did you see how I set up that kill for my bot?
Yeah.
Okay. So that was just me going a little harder than you were, and it eventually led to something, and that's what I'm talking about by kind of making proactive plays. See, and I'm trying to push the wave because now I want the, well, fictionally you to lose XP. Okay.
Gale winds unleashed.
Alright. Mispositioned AD carry. That happens sometimes, right? Why did you go Spell Thieves instead of something else?
If it's a lane where I feel more comfortable poking in, then I'll go Spell Thieves. If it's one where I feel like I'm gonna be pushed in more, I will go Ancient Coin.
Okay. I like Coin more because it gives me everything I need. I need the health regen, the passive gold income, and it doesn't force me into just having to trade with a laner. I still can, as you can tell, but it doesn't force me to, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Alright. And also with the Spell Thief Edge, you never want to upgrade it to the second one. Yeah, it's not gold efficient or cost efficient unless you're going for the Frost Queen claim.
Upon the wind.
So I don't know if you build that up when you do it, but exactly like that. Now that you're taking so much minion aggro, though, you might want to... Good.
Ah.
Gale winds unleashed.
Alright. And you see how we're both kind of getting these silly bots through? And it's just to model like really, really bad trading from AD carries. Because we all have those games where the AD carry is just really bad.
The tempest is upon me.
And you see how I have a little bit more mana than you? A little bit more health? It's all
Yeah.
because of the coin. Especially my upgraded coin.
In harmony.
You might do a little bit more damage, but after the third or so auto, I'll do more. You know you're tanking a cannon though, right?
Swiftly.
And cannons hurt a lot, so I would be careful trading. So here, as you can tell, I have, what, 7 minions that will hurt you a lot. And that's where you want to be careful to trade. So I almost killed your carry just because of the misposition there. And now that I forced you back under your turret, now I get to recall. And that's where being able to push that person back and understand the wave ebb and flow is really big. Nice, but be careful of the wave, because you are taking a lot of damage. And she hasn't hit you yet, because she's not pulling any aggro.
Swiftly.
So in bot lane there's a lot to be said about knowing how to pull and dismiss aggro.
As you wish.
I goofed.
By your command.
Shit.
So that was just not knowing, I think, the range of the ult, maybe? But I also have... So now here, I don't want to trade with you if you were in lane, because unless you were really low and I knew I could kill you, either from AD carry or support.
Act 1.
Now here, this is where you might want to use your tornado to just stall minions, because they don't do damage for a little bit when they get knocked up.
For tranquility.
And I'm trying, well, now we're trying to freeze it on you. Good. Good. Ooh. Good. Do you use attack move at all?
Yeah.
Alright.
With ease.
Oh, you might kill her. No, back out, friend.
The storm approaches.
And you can always CS when they're not here. So just look at how much CS I have. And it's because my MF has been so out of lane. Because there's no reason not to CS when... Nice poke. Because I'm just focused on getting the creeps.
As you wish.
And then when she shows up, I stop CSing. Because I expect her to be able to CS these.
Upon the wind.
Good. Yeah. Good way to get aggressive. Yep. Especially with your own AD carry here. You can also use the Janna stuff just to disrupt. So, see how I just kind of dissolved that fight we had?
By your command.
Nice. Alright. So is that making some sense?
Yeah, I
Alright.
definitely like being able to see how other people play it. Kind of makes me, learn or make more differences.
So let's exit out of this, because at this point well, in any game when you get 4-0'd in lane, you should almost lose that lane, right? You should stop fighting and stuff. So we're going to restart, because I do find these exercises are really important for all my students. That's why I try to do at least one custom with them. But we're going to do another one, and I'm going to play a different champion, and you're going to keep trying to do what I did to you, if that makes sense.
Yep.
And I would advise trying the coin start, because if you noticed how much healthier I was throughout all that. Even if I took a bad trade, I was able to just wait it out and then get my mana and health back. And we'll both have the same AD carry. Do you like MF, or do you want someone else?
It doesn't matter.
Alright. MF's pretty popular, so that's it kind of gives us the feeling of a more real game instead of like someone that no one sees. Alright, what supports have you seen in your games?
Malzahar, Nami.
Okay. Have you seen any Lulu? Any
Very rarely.
Karmas?
Karma.
Okay. I'm actually gonna go Lulu because I'll go Thresh. Have you seen any Threshes?
Yep.
All right. So, Janna does really well on a Thresh and Leona, but it is kind of a skill matchup, because when I hook someone, and you should be able to shield them and knock me up while I'm traveling to that person. So it's a weird, and so with Leona you can knock her out of her Zenith Blade.
Okay.
So you're gonna have to stand near your AD carry and make sure that you or your AD carry don't get hooked. It's gonna be a little hard because, as we know, these bots are a little difficult sometimes. And then we'll probably spend 10 minutes or so in this, and then we'll conclude with any last questions or kind of any last tips you want, and then we'll call it from there.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, and I like going coin. Most people go relic shield on Thresh, but I like coin. I'm a coin person. In this game, I'm going to start potions because I know I'm going to go in a little bit more, and potions give a little bit more immediate healing, even though they're not super gold efficient, even with the mastery. And then also with this matchup, you might want to consider starting getting W second, because you want the extra movement speed to dodge my hook.
Okay. So would you normally go Ancient Coin and Refillable when you're playing Janna?
Yes, that's normally what I get. Sometimes I'll get coin in biscuits or in health potions, but I like refillable potions because you can then almost always go back and buy one of the control wards, because usually you have 50, 75 gold to spare on your purchases. And refillable also works with the potion mastery, so you get a little bit more efficiency out of it.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. I didn't know if it worked with the biscuits mastery.
Yep. It does. You lose the 15 or the 45 mana from buying the 3 potions, but so I'm letting her CS, and I'm just trying to zone you guys. Good, good. Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted to see from you. You eventually start losing the trade because you made it such a long trade, but that was very good. See, now you're on 3 potions and I'm on 1 potion now. I just dip in a bush.
Oh, fuck.
You see how I just mispositioned you by just grabbing a minion too? So I could deal damage to you as well. So this is actually a pretty good spot into the Thresh, because it's going to be harder for me to just hook and go in. But your 80 carry left you. Sorry to hear that. But good, good. You traded with MF and you walked away.
Oh.
I might die for that. Yeah. But I got executed, so worth for my team. So this is where a debate happens. If the support gets first blood, it's actually really valuable, because now I'm really close to getting my sight stone, because that's almost half a sight stone. So it's not the end of the world. I did waste. So what did I use for summoners?
Used Flash.
That's it?
Oh no, you also used Exhaust.
Yep. What did you use?
Flash.
So next time we battle, are you going to probably be at an advantage?
Yep.
Probably. Especially with my 80 carry like this. No 80 carry. Oh. So that was really good. You almost got her. You just didn't. You missed you missed her by a little bit. But I like the aggression. So I almost solo kill your AD carry. And now that I'm choosing to stay in, you might be able to do something here. Nope. Darn it. Oh, nice. You got a double knockup. I don't know if they will click Leotard or not. I don't think they ever will, but coin just gives me so much sustain, and as well as you, because you can make these bad trades. I think you kill her. No? I think you and her.
No!
So, it's very punishing to get hit by skill shots. Did you have flash up as well?
No.
Okay. But just especially with Threshes and Blitzcranks, and even Morganas, because their CC is so potent. Okay, but you are making really good trades with your crummy AD carry. So, and that's what I'm trying to show you with, is that you can play your lanes a little bit more aggressively. Just not too aggressive that you start dying under turret. Good. That was... Why did you guys lose that? Why am I lagging? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Why did you lose that?
We stayed in too long. I also got minion blocked.
Exactly. You fought in like the super minion wave. What also happened? What did I have that you didn't have?
You had level advantage.
Yep. So that is the biggest thing there, is I had level advantage, and I just had, like, I had my ultimate, and that did a lot of damage to you guys, and you just couldn't do anything there. But this is where I'm trying to show you that supports have this, and I hope I am trying to demonstrating it to you, that supports definitely have a role of like making a useless AD carry capitalize on other people's mistakes. Good. Alright, good. I wanted to see if you would capitalize on that mistake. Why was that a mistake? For me?
We had a big minion wave.
Yep. And I'm being a dirty support and just CSing for her. again, level advantage. And then I Alright. So, I want you to try to kill MF by yourself here. So I won't come into lane, and I want to see you and the other MF. So this is an instance where your supports or your AD carries huge, and they think they can 1v2 now. And now let's say I'm roaming mid. And
Okay.
like, yeah, mid lane's losing. I'm gonna go roam mid. You need to help your AD carry kill this Fed AD carry, because this AD carry is going to have a BF sword when she backs, and your AD carry's like behind, but you guys could definitely win on a 1v2, and I wanted to see if you can do that or not, and then we'll call it from there. So I'm helping mid or whatever. You could also ult aggressively and push her back in. Perfect. Now, yep. Oh, your MF just needs to keep attacking. Yep. You can kill her. There we go. Perfect. So your ult can definitely be used to be aggressive, as an aggressive tool.
Yeah. And I've done that before to, like, my junglers coming in.
Good. Good, good.
I've used it to flash in front of them and push them back into lane.
Oh man, I failed. Perfect. I'm still just tanking creeps. I want to see if you'll capitalize.
Nope.
So again, you didn't check my items, did you?
No.
Okay. So if you knew, because you should have saw.
Oh,
that,
you had to lock it.
Yep. And that's where that huge shield came in. So I was kind of baiting you and seeing if you would take the bait or not. And that's where the support, I feel, is like the most interesting role because of all this. Alright, so any closing comments, questions? I just left game.
Oh, okay. No, I mean, like, it's a lot to take in, and like, stuff that I can work on, or do you have something specifically that I can work on?
I would honestly keep trying to do that in bot games, or even doing like a custom, like, you know, those intermediate bot like games or something, or just do a custom by yourself, set up 2 bots and you have one bot, and just practice being kind of aggressive, and kind of getting this mentality of, hey, I'm the support, I can go do something. I actually have time to do another one if you want. That's up to you.
Sure. Like, it doesn't. Yeah.
All right. And just that. So I think but let me summarize. The 3 takeaways is: think of your position. So where am I standing? What does the enemy want to do? Depending with regards to where I'm standing. Use your ultimate more often, because it's a really short cooldown. You're building a bunch of CDR. It's like think it was 45% CDR. If you take the CDR mastery, which you should, it's like 62 seconds or something at 45% CDR. So you can blow it like just to knock people away, just to heal people. You sometimes see these Jannas just heal people if they're tanking turrets. Just so it's a very versatile ult. And then kind of getting aggressive in lane and not thinking, oh, Janna's is passive laner. No, she could be played passive, but at that time you're not optimizing her, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
You're not playing to the full extent. So I'm going to put them actually both into intermediate now. It means they'll have like keystones and stuff, and they'll capitalize on mistakes a little bit more.
Okay.
And you'll go Janna. How did you like the coin start there? It looked like you had a lot more sustain.
Yeah, I mean, coin is majority of the time what I go, unless it's, like I said, if it's a lane where I feel like I can be more aggressive and proc my, use the spell thieves for farming more, then I'll usually go spell thieves.
Yeah. I think coin almost always outclasses spell thieves, at least for a gold per minute wise. I understand if you're going mana or kind of a damage. Alright, I need to change those. I'm actually going to go an aggressive build here.
I decide what the tide will bring.
And then, so this one I'm going to be running Ignite because sometimes supports run Ignite.
Okay.
And that might be an option, especially looking at your team comp. If they have like a Tryndamere Swain, I would recommend running Ignite. Because think mid to late game, do we have Ignite on our team? If not, I need to make sure everyone's building Executioner's Calling. Or I take Ignite. So that's where, and if you're like, well, my team's not going to listen to me, let's go with Ignite. And now I have kill pressure in lane.
Okay. If someone is shielded and they get ignited, does that burn the shield or does that still burn their health?
That still burns the shield. It's true damage, so it's just going to knock it off.
Okay.
It does, I think, last 5 or 6 seconds. So it actually is a pretty long tick. So if you shield properly, you could definitely do it, but it does a lot of damage. Especially in these early levels. It does like 150 damage, which is huge. Alright. And so, again, for me, this would be a support I choose Spell Thieves, because I know, hey, I'm in a Janna lane, I could probably auto her at least 3 times a minute. I'm going to do this. Now, my question to you is, are you going to go Spell Thieves or are you going to go Coin here?
I went Coin.
Okay. I would say that's a good choice, because do you win trades into Nami?
Usually, but I think a lot of the Namis I have generally gone against were not particularly great.
Okay. That I would agree with that, because if they knew how to play Nami, they would be probably they wouldn't be playing with you, right? I would say they would be able to do a lot more, at least game mechanic wise. And then, so one thing I did notice last game is make sure you watch how many minions you have, and how many minions I have. So, and decide on how like aggressive you're gonna go based on that. Because I think you died a few times by just taking like 8 minions in the face.
Okay.
And it is this whole bunch of different things, but I feel like this is the best way to actually go out and do it, because it's too easy for you to forget what I told you in VODs.
We are all tied to the ocean.
Alright, Ash, let's do this. Ashbot, come on.
Wash them away.
See how when you shielded yourself, I just say, well, I'm not going to hit you. So
Gotcha.
People in their air.
Nice, Ash. Oh yeah, Ash. No, but good. You traded damage to her. That's really good. And you even made my Ash pop a potion.
On the way.
Ash, what are you doing? You could auto her, yeah. Oh, wasn't close enough.
My quest beckons.
But we sent your 80 carry home. And I am running Thunderlords if you...
Do you normally run Thunderlords on Nami?
It depends on the lane matchup. I like running Thunderlords if I know I can fight them. So, good. And I got her heal too. I like running Thunderlords in a lane where I know I can hit them. So like on a Zyra, I might run Janna's, Soraka's, anything that I know I can burst down. Because I can do a lot of work there, as you can see. And this is an example of like utility actually carrying people. Because Nami doesn't actually provide the best damage. It's all this utility. The other thing I don't like about Spell Thieves is that when I CS, like if my ADC is gone, I don't get the extra damage. Are you familiar with Nami's kit?
Yeah.
Nice. Good, yep. Try to get her. Try to get her. Knock her up. Nice, nice, get her. Perfect. Perfect.
Swim against the current.
That's good. Now you want to try to push this lane out with her, so you need to auto those minions. And either put a shield on you or her, depending on who's tanking minions. And you want to try to hit it to the tower. You want to make sure your minions hit our tower. Because then we don't ever get that XP or gold.
Ride upon the wave.
Crash is a little slow, but that's okay. But I'm trying to tell you these things so that you know what you need to be doing. Oh, good, good.
No.
Almost got you.
Always another wave. People in their air.
So with Sona, would I want to be running Thunderlords if I'm doing more of an AP build than a utility build?
I would recommend that. Because then,
Okay.
with a Lich Bane and Thunderlords, you're going to be able to solo 80 carries.
Okay.
Pretty well. Or at least when they're in like 50% health or so. And see how I just don't have the sustain as you do? Look how low I have to how low I get.
Ew, spirit breath.
So even though I can do more damage than you, but you have a lot more sustain than I do. And I'm just trying to push up. So, and then you have to think about the lane dynamics. Nami Ashe is alright, because we have a lot of CC. Nami Caitlyn's really good, because I can
We are all
empower Caitlyn's autos. And that would just be a really... that would be where you have to get like some early armor or something into Caitlyn lane. And even with Sona, you might have to get like Zonia's or something.
here to see my home turn.
But nice. Then just make sure you're not trading with the minions. And then if you tab real quick, you'll see that I built my 80 carries lead. Even though we both died, and you haven't, so you have like a kill advantage here, we actually have an advantage because we have not gotten so behind in CS. And that's all because of how
Or as the tide.
we've chosen our fights. And then your Ashe just hasn't been in lane. Good. This is where you'd really want her. Nice. Perfect. Perfect. No, Ashe! Ashe! Perfect. Your Ashe went full retard there. Whoa, Ashe hurts though. What?
I'll
Alright.
take my path.
That's just me knowing my damage output. Because I knew you didn't have, like, anything to do much.
Ride upon the waves.
Oh, oh, Ashe! Ashe! No! Oh,
Oh no!
good Ashe. But
Swim against the
does that make sense on how the support actually like dictates the lane?
Yeah.
So, like, cause you will get someone like this, your Ashe right now, who just is weird, does weird things in lane, and you have to be able to accommodate them. Or I mean not accommodate, but kind of like think for yourself and not just mindlessly follow them. Alright, what summoners do I have up?
my people are counting.
You should have Ignite up.
Nope.
No?
It's it's a 4-minute cooldown. Did you have it pinged? Did you ping when I
No.
used it?
I did not.
Okay. So okay, Ashe flashed, so at 16:16 she'll have it up again.
Sure as the tides.
No, Ashe CS, please.
What? Okay.
Always another wave.
My Ash is better than your Ash.
Northwest beckons.
Oh,
Oh, come on, Ash.
oh, I'm in an awkward spot. Yeah, why are you not going more aggressive onto me?
Sure as the
Like,
Because I didn't think my Ash was going to follow up.
that's fair, that's fair. Alright, but you get the point, right? That
Yeah, I
even
get
with,
it.
even with this silly Ash, you made my Ash 0-3. And a 0-380 carries, especially in bronze, is probably going to tilt.
welcome to the deep end.
That's good. And look, you're zoning me from trying to CS. That's perfect. So you're making Ashes, and now look, your Ash is caught up in farm. You're all hunky-dory. She has 2 more kills than my Ash.
People and their
No. Yeah, your W saved you. Yep, because I couldn't chase you. Good. And that's where you just kind of leave your bad ADC sometimes. But I hope it's been useful, and I look forward to seeing you actually apply this stuff. I left game.
Oh, okay.
Any last questions before we depart?
No, I guess I'll just take what you said and kind of practice it a little more.
Yep, and you can do this. I would recommend doing it ranked. Right now you're bronze 4. There's no real downfall in trying to do it in ranked, because I think normals is going to give you kind of a full sense of security sometimes.
Okay.
All right, so I hope the rest of your day goes well, and if you could leave me a review on my coaching profile. It just tells the
Okay.
community if I'm good or bad or indifferent.
All right, man. Thanks again for everything.
No
I
problem.
appreciate it.
And then we can set up. I would recommend try to give yourself a week or 2 to practice this stuff, and then we can come back and see, hey, like, what do you mean by this? Or I'm trying that, but so then you can kind of ask clarifying questions.
Yeah, I mean, before I used to try and play Jenna as aggressively as I could, but a lot of times it always ended up with me getting into a bad trade,
Mm-hmm.
and so like I always just kind of
Just started playing her passively, right?
started playing her passively.
Yep. But that's. I mean, I wouldn't say you went overly. The first few times you went overly aggressive. The last game you went pretty calculated. You went with your Ash, or you set up for your Ash and you backed off if she didn't go in.
Okay.
Yep. And so that's where you have to kind of gauge their level of, like, are they going to go in? If so, I'm going to just try to go in hard, but not too hard where I don't have an escape. You always have to have an escape.
Okay.
So that's where, as Janna, you have to decide, do I want to press W to slow, or I want it for my speed? Because that speed, like, saved your life a few times. All right, but yeah, check in like a week or 2, and we will we'll see how you're doing.
All right.